for finding out that how much gold is in the crown. So nowadays it is very easy because a lot of inventions and discoveries have been made by a lot of scientists and learned men. But at that time, at that era, this was a serious matter of thought. It was really difficult, and even in science also there was no technique which could prove that the which could prove the fraud done by the goldsmith. So Archimedes was very interested to solve the scientific puzzle. He was not interested in the human problem at all. So when he was involved in when he wanted to solve this issue, he was very worried. He thought of it every time in his daily routine also. In the passage it is written that he went to public baths. He used to observe water flowing full day long. He noticed each and every action a lot. Suddenly, he splashed out of his tub, shouting at the top of his voice, Eureka, Eureka, I have found it, I have found it. Without waiting or even thinking of such a detail as clothes, he tore out of a building and rushed through the streets of Syracuse, still shouting, Eureka, Eureka. Arriving at his house, the mathematician put his newly found discovery to a practical test and found indeed that a body plunged in a fluid loses an amount of its weight which is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by it. So what happened, he just immediately went out of the tub and splashed out water. He was shouting at the top of his voice, Eureka, I have found it, Eureka. So without even thinking for once, he was so excited that he just ran without wearing any clothes, and he rushed through the streets of Syracuse. He was constantly shouting, Eureka, Eureka. So at first he arrived at his house. Then he put his newly found discovery to a practical test, in which he found out that when a body is put into a liquid, it loses an amount of its weight which is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by it. With this as a starting point, as it was to prove the starting point of many subsequent discoveries of importance, Archimedes was able to tell his king how much pure gold was in his crown. Thus was the first fundamental law in hydrostatic enunciated. Archimedes was by this time well known to his fellow townsmen, and his sometimes strange appearance and unusual actions probably met with indulgent smiles. He came from a good family. His father, Phidias, was an astronomer. He was on intimate terms with, and according to some, was even a kinsman of King Hiero himself. So what happened, because of his discovery, he was able to prove that how much gold is present in the crown. Even this was the first fundamental law in the theory of hydrostatic or equilibrium of liquids. The pressure a liquid exerts when it is at rest. So because of his theory, Archimedes became very well known in that town, and even a lot of people used to laugh at him because of his strange appearance and unusual actions. Archimedes was from a very good family. His father was an astronomer whose name was Phidias. They had a very good relations with the king, and even some people used to believe that they were close relatives to the King Hiero himself. So this was the passage. Now it's time for the questions. Let's start solving the questions now. The first question is, why could the king not punish the fraudulent goldsmith? तो किंग क्यों नहीं पनिश कर पाया गोल्डस्मिथ को? जब उसको स्टार्टिंग में डाउट हो रहा था, तो what was the reason? By that time, Archimedes had not discovered the law of hydrostatics. B, the king did not have concrete evidence to prove the fraud. C, the finishing of the crown was perfect but deceptive. D, the king had lot of faith in the goldsmith. E, none of these. So let's see what is the first option. By that time, Archimedes had not discovered the law of hydrostatic. So, but this is not the main reason, क्योंकि अभी तक ये प्रूव नहीं हुआ था कि उसने गोल्डस्मिथ ने फ्रॉड किया है या नहीं किया है. So A is not the correct option. B, the king did not have concrete evidence to prove the fraud. Yes, this is the correct answer, because as mentioned in the passage also, it was clearly written that usko king ko doubt tha, but there was no evidence. That is why he wanted Archimedes to find out कि what is the real theory, मतलब कितना gold है, because he was the most learned man of the city. So yes, option B is the correct answer. C, the finishing of the crown was perfect but deceptive. No, nothing as such is mentioned in the passage. D, the king had lot of faith in the goldsmith. No, even this is not the correct answer. Even this is not written in the passage. It is not mentioned in the passage. E, none of these. So correct answer is B, the king did not have concrete evidence to prove the fraud. All right. The next question is, why was Archimedes charged with the task of finding out if there was any impurity in the crown? So why? क्यों आर्किमिडीज को ये काम दिया गया कि वो बताएं कि क्राउन में कितनी इम्प्योरिटी है, कितना दूसरा मेटल मिक्स्ड है? A, Archimedes was famous as the most learned man and mathematician. The king was worried that the goldsmith will tell the truth to Archimedes. The goldsmith was one of the kings of craftsmen. D, Archimedes was famous for interrogating the criminals and exploring the truth. E, none of these. So let's see what is the first option. Archimedes was famous as the most learned man and mathematician. Yes, this is the correct answer, because Archimedes सबसे ज़्यादा learned man था, mathematician था. Therefore, because he was so capable, the king assigned him this task of finding out that how much gold is in the crown. So option A is the correct answer. But we'll study other options also. The king was worried that the goldsmith will tell the truth to Archimedes. No, this is not the correct answer. Even this is not mentioned in the passage also. So this is out of the question. C, the goldsmith was one of the kings of the craftsmen. No, even this is not mentioned in the passage. It is absolutely wrong. D, Archimedes was famous for interrogating the criminals and exploring the truth. So Archimedes was a mathematician. He was not a detective. So no, this is not a correct answer. E, none of these. So option A is the correct answer. Now, the next question is, what was the king's suspicion? क्या suspicion था king को? The goldsmith had made a crown with some inferior metal instead of gold. The craftsman had replaced gold with a cheaper metal. C, the goldsmith had mixed a cheaper metal with gold in the crown. The finishing of the crown was not up to the mark. E, none of these. So let's see what's the first option. The goldsmith had made a crown with some inferior metal instead of gold. तो किंग का सस्पेशन ये नहीं था कि गोल्ड है ही नहीं उसमें और सिर्फ इंफीरियर मेटल से वो बनाए क्राउन. सो इट इज कंप्लीटली रॉन्ग. ए इज रॉन्ग. B, the craftsman has replaced gold with a cheaper metal. No, even this is the wrong answer. The goldsmith had mixed a cheaper metal with gold in the crown. Yes, किंग का एग्जैक्टली यही सस्पेशन था कि जो गोल्ड स्मिथ है उसने गोल्ड के साथ थोड़ा सा कोई एक चीप मेटल भी मिक्स कर दिया है. D, the finishing of the crown was not up to the mark. No, this is not mentioned in the passage. He was just the king just wanted to know how much gold is in the crown. E, none of these. So option C, the goldsmith had mixed a cheaper metal with gold in the crown. It is written in the passage also. So option C is the correct answer. Okay. Next question is, which of the following statement is definitely true in the context of the passage? So let's see. A, Archimedes' action of running nude through public places was not taken lightly by the onlookers. Archimedes' eccentric actions used to create anguish among the public. Archimedes was thrilled by the human side of the problem. Archimedes was a mathematician and the most learned man of the city. So let's see what is the first option. Archimedes' action of running nude through public places was not taken lightly by the onlookers. No, a lot have not been discussed about this point. So this is not true. B, Archimedes' eccentric actions used to create anguish among the public. No, in fact, people used to laugh at him. C, Archimedes was thrilled by the human side of the problem. No, this is absolutely wrong, because he was thrilled and excited about to solve the scientific puzzle. Rather, he was completely disinterested in the human side of the problem. Option D, Archimedes was a mathematician and the most learned man of the city. Yes, this is absolutely correct. He was the mathematician and he was the most learned man of the city. Because of this reason, King Hiero hired him, consulted him to find out what is the truth. Okay, the next question is, when Archimedes was entrusted with the task, he was curious because. Why was he curious when he was given the task by the king? He was thrilled by the human side of the problem. He used to forget all his routine matters and concentrate on the problem. He had never worked on such scientific challenges in the past. It was a challenge to unearth scientific fact, none of these. So let's see what is the first option. He was thrilled by the human side of the problem. So this is completely wrong, because it is written very clearly in the passage that he was thrilled, excited, because only to solve the scientific puzzle, and he was completely disinterested in solving by the human side of the problem. B, he used to forget all his routine matters and concentrate on the problem. No, this is wrong. Even though he was worried, but then also he continued doing all his routine works. So this is wrong. He had never worked on such scientific challenges in the past. No, even this is not mentioned in the passage. So this is wrong. It was a challenge to unearth scientific fact. Yes, this is the correct option, because this was an opportunity for Archimedes to discover, to invent a scientific fact, and because of which he was very excited and keen. None of these. So option D is the correct answer. Now let's move to the next question. Eureka, Eureka, as spelled out by Archimedes, was. Why? Why was he spelling? क्यों वो बार बार यूरेका यूरेका बोल रहा था? An outburst of unreasonable pride of inventing a novel principle, a spontaneous reaction of excitement due to discovery, an immature expression of a half-baked idea, an exhibition of encouragement for a useful discovery. None of these. So let's see what is the first option. An outburst of unreasonable pride of inventing a novel principle. No, he was not outbursting his pride. This was something which naturally came. So option A is wrong. A spontaneous reaction of excitement due to discovery. Yes, this is the correct answer, because after discovering this fact, he got so excited that it was his spontaneous reaction. It was not his display of pride or something, but he was actually very excited that he found something really new. C, an immature expression of the half-baked idea. No, this is wrong. D, an exhibition of encouragement for a full discovery. Even this is wrong. E, none of these. No. Option B, a spontaneous reaction of excitement due to discovery. Yes, this is the correct option. Now, next question is, what was the impact of Archimedes' tremendous mental involvement in solving the king's riddle? तो जो ये पूरा मेंटल इन्वॉल्वमेंट था आर्किमिडीज का, जो किंग की रिडल सॉल्व करने में, किंग का क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करने में, उसका क्या इम्पैक्ट पड़ा? A, he was worried but able to take care of his daily routine. The involvement ultimately led to a failure in completing the assignment. He was not able to think of the details of the problem entrusted to him. Because of his involvement, he forgot to put the discovery to a practical test. E, none of these. So let's see what is the first option. A, he was worried but able to take care of his daily routine. Yes, this is clearly mentioned in the passage. Though he was worried, he was constantly thinking about the king's riddle, yet he didn't leave his routine. He went to public bath. He did everything which he used to do on daily basis. So option A is the correct answer. But we'll read other options also. Option B is, the involvement ultimately led to failure in completing the assignment. No, he was not failed. In fact, he got success. C, he was not able to think of the details of the problem entrusted to him. No, this is also wrong option. D, because of his involvement, he forgot to put the discovery to a practical test. No, this is absolutely wrong, because as soon as he discovered, the first thing he done, he ran to his home and put his discovery to a practical test. So this option is also wrong. E, none of these, it is also wrong. Option A, he was worried but able to take care of his daily routine. This is the correct answer. Now, the next question is, a body submerged in a liquid loses its weight equal to. So this is a little type of physics question, but it is clearly mentioned in the passage. The weight of the liquid in which it is submerged, the volume of a liquid in which it is submerged, the weight of the body which is submerged in the liquid, the weight of the liquid displaced by it, none of these. So as written in the passage very clearly, option D is the correct answer. A body which is put into a liquid loses its weight equal to the weight of the liquid displaced by it. So option D is the correct answer. So that was the passage. Now it's time to do grammar, which is continuous tenses. हमारे last session में हम लोगों ने simple tenses के बारे में पढ़ा था. So now today we are going to study about continuous tenses. So first of all, let's revise simple tenses a bit. So we have got three simple tenses: present tense, past tense, future tense. Present tense is when an action is going on in the present. Past tense is when the action had already happened in the past, and future is when the action will happen in the future. So now it's time to do continuous tenses. A lot of time it happens कि हमें जो passage मिलता है, हमें जो उसमें से हमें उसमें एक correct tense लिखना होता है. तो because of some silly mistakes or maybe some lack of concepts, हमारा जो हम लिखना चाहते हैं, it usually gets wrong. So basically, to understand, to make your concepts clear, we are taking up this topic of continuous tenses. So let's get started. Let's see the definition first. The continuous tense shows an action that is, was, or will be in progress at a certain time. There are three types of continuous tenses. One, present continuous tense. Two, past continuous tense. थर्ड, फ्यूचर कंटिन्यूस टेंस. तो कंटिन्यूस टेंस वो एक्शन होता है जो हमें ये बताता है कि कोई एक्शन या तो अभी चल रहा है, या फ्यूचर में चला था, या अभी पास्ट में चला था, या अभी फ्यूचर में चलने वाला है. So these are continuous tenses. There are three types of continuous tenses: present continuous tense, past continuous tense, and future continuous tense. Now let's see what is present continuous tense. The present continuous, also called present progressive, is a verb tense which is used to show an ongoing action. They are formed by subject plus am, is, are plus verb ing. So प्रेजेंट कंटिन्यूस टेंस को हम प्रेजेंट प्रोग्रेसिव टेंस भी कहते हैं. बेसिकली ये वो वर्ब टेंस होता है जो हमें ये बताता है कि अभी कौन सा एक्शन चल रहा है. लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल, द वेबिनार इज गोइंग ऑन राइट नाउ. सो दिस इज एन एक्शन विच इज गोइंग ऑन इन द प्रेजेंट, विच इज टेकिंग प्लेस इन द प्रेजेंट. सो दे आर फॉर्म्ड बाय, कैसे ये जनरली कैसे बनते हैं, देयर इज अ सब्जेक्ट प्लस am, is, are means कोई भी helping verb हो सकता है depending upon the subject, plus verb की form ing. Examples: you are watching TV. तो तुम अभी TV देख रहे हो. तो the activity of watching TV is going on right now. The girls are playing badminton. So there are a number of girls. So the girls are playing badminton means their game is going on right now. So that is present continuous tense. Next is yes. There are three types of situation, three types of sentences: positive sentences, negative sentences, and question. So in positive sentences, there is subject plus am, is, or are depending on the subject, plus verb, verbs form ing. Continuous means ing. Negative sentence, in negative sentence, because it is negative, there is not in the sentence subject plus am, is, are depending upon the subject, not, plus verb forms ing. Question, in the question, the helping verbs comes first: is, am, are plus subject plus verb form ing. So generally, if there is I is the subject, we use am. If there is a singular subject, we use is, and if there is a plural subject, we use are. Now there is some simple sentence examples. Positive sentence: he is playing. Negative: he is not playing. Question: is he playing? So these are simple examples. Now let's see what is the use of present continuous tenses. Basically, कौन सी जगहों पे प्रेजेंट कंटिन्यूस जनरली यूज किया जाता है. सो जस्ट कीप इन माइंड व्हेन यू आर रीडिंग अ कॉम्प्रिहेंशन और व्हेन यू आर रीडिंग अ पैसेज, अगर आपको ये सिचुएशन लग रही है तो इट विल बी इजी फॉर यू टू फाइंड आउट कि कौन सा टेंस आएगा. Like for example, now use the present continuous tense with normal verbs to express an idea that something is going on now at the very moment. Now मतलब अभी, कोई चीज जो अभी हो रही है. For that we always use present continuous tense. Next is now there are some examples. You are learning English now, right now. Yes, we are learning English. I'm sitting on a chair. चेयर पे बैठे हैं, they are reading their books, I am working at the moment. So these are some examples of activities which are going on at present. Next is use to, longer actions in progress now. Sometimes we use present continuous tense to say that we are in progress of doing a longer action which is in progress. However, we might not be doing it at this exact second. कई बार ऐसा होता है कि हम उन एक्शंस के बारे में भी प्रेजेंट कंटिन्यूअस टेंस लिखते हैं जो कि हम एक लॉन्गर टाइम से कर रहे हैं, अभी भी कर ही रहे हैं, बट दैट इट इज नॉट नेसेसरी कि हम वो अभी भी कर रहे हो. जैसे कि बाय एग्जाम्पल इट विल बी इजी टू अंडरस्टैंड. Like I am studying to become a doctor. Doctor is something, अगर आपको डॉक्टर बनना है, you are doing MBBS, so this is not a one day process, it takes time. पूरे 4-5 साल लगते हैं, so this is a process. So for that type of sentences in which a longer when you are into a longer action, we use present continuous tense. Like I am studying to become a doctor, I am reading the book Tom Sawyer. So reading a book is something you cannot complete in just half an hour or just right now, so it takes time. I am not reading any books right now, so this is a negative sentence. I am not studying to become a dentist. So all these types of sentences we use present continuous tense. Now the next use is near future. So sometimes speaker use the present continuous tense to indicate that something will or will not happen in the near future. कभी कभी हम लोग प्रेजेंट कंटिन्यूअस टेंस इसलिए भी यूज करते हैं कि फ्यूचर में कोई चीज हो भी सकती है, हम कर सकते हैं, या फ्यूचर में हम नहीं भी कर सकते हैं. जैसे कि एग्जाम्पल, आई एम मीटिंग सम फ्रेंड्स आफ्टर वर्क. सो दिस इज समथिंग कि काम के बाद आई कैन मीट माई फ्रेंड्स. सो दिस इज अ प्रोबेबिलिटी, दिस कैन हैपन और this may not happen. So there are both the possibilities. I'm not going to the party tonight, I'm going to the cinema tonight, my uncle is arriving tomorrow. So all these actions कि ये future में हो सकते हैं, हुए नहीं है but ये हो सकते हैं future में. Now next is annoying habits. Use for the present continuous tense with always or constantly. Express an idea that something irritating and showing often happens. So basically present continuous tense जब always या constantly words आ जाते हैं तो तब हमें ये express करता है कि कोई ऐसी habit या कोई भी habit या कोई चीज जो कि बार बार होती रहती है, which is a part of your nature, which is part of your routine. Like for example, she is always coming late. She's always coming to class late. So this is a very annoying habit कि वो हमेशा क्लास में लेट आती है. This is something, this is a part of an annoying habit. He is constantly talking, I hope he would shut up. वो बार बार उसको बहुत बोलने की आदत है. So this is a part of annoying habit. I don't like them because they are always complaining. मुझे वो लोग पसंद नहीं है क्योंकि वो लोग always complain करते रहते हैं. So this is a part of some annoying habit. My dog is silly, he's always running out on the road. So this is a part of habit. This is a thing which kept on repeating again and again. So this is in these cases we use present continuous tense. Now let's see what is past continuous tense. The past continuous tense, also called past progressive, is a verb tense which is used to show an action going on at some time in the past. Basically past continuous tense को past progressive tense भी कहते हैं. This is a tense जो हमें ये बताता है कि कोई action past में कुछ time के लिए हुआ था. And they are formed by subject plus was were. If there is a singular subject we use was, and if there is a plural subject we use were, plus verbs form ing. Okay. Now some example of some positive sentences: subject plus was or were plus verb ing. Negative sentences: subject plus was were plus not, not plus verb ing. Question, was were subject, helping verbs get shifted, was were plus subject plus verb ing. Okay, was is used when there is a singular noun, and were is used when there are plural nouns. Okay, now some sentence examples. These are very easy sentence example. Positive sentence, she was cooking all morning. Negative sentence, she was not cooking all morning. Question, was she cooking all morning? Now, let's see what are the uses of past continuous tenses. Use one is overlapping action. Overlap मतलब कि एक action में ही दूसरा action आ जाए अगर. Use a past continuous tense to indicate a longer action in the past was interrupted. Basically इसका सबसे पहला use है कि कोई लंबा चला हुआ action को कोई बीच में कोई एक action interrupt कर दे. तो जैसे आई वॉज वॉचिंग टीवी वेन शी कॉल्ड, तो मैं टीवी देख रही थी जब उसका फोन आया, तो हर कॉल इंटरप्टेड माई एक्शन ऑफ वॉचिंग टीवी. While we were having the picnic, it started to rain. So हमारे पिकनिक होने के टाइम पर it started to rain. So rain interrupted our picnic. So in these types of sentences, we use past continuous tense. The next use is specific time as interruption. जब specific time भी दिया हो interruption का, use the past continuous tense to indicate interruption at a specific time. Example, last night at 6 p.m. I was eating dinner. So now in this sentence we can see that the specific time has been mentioned. कि ठीक है कि last night particularly 6 बजे I was eating dinner. So in these type of sentences, when an action going on in the past is interrupted by giving a specific time, then it is also then we use past continuous tense. Next is emphasis on length of action. Means kitna ek action chala hai, how long had the action taken place. Use past continuous tense to emphasize on how long the action took place. Example, I was working in the garden all day. So in this sentence it is clearly written कि वो पूरे दिन काम कर रही थी garden में. So all day, the duration has been mentioned. The length of action has been mentioned clearly. She was studying the whole night. So basically in this sentence, the whole night is mentioned, the time is mentioned, the duration is mentioned, that she was studying the whole night. Okay, next is parallel actions. Parallel means दो चीजें एक साथ जब चल रही हूँ. Use past continuous tense when two actions in the same sentence are taking place at same time. जब दो actions एक ही sentence में एक ही time पर होते हैं, तो that is called parallel actions. Example, I was studying while he was making dinner. So in this sentence we can see that two actions are going on, पढ़ने का और dinner बनाने का. So there are two actions going on. Were you listening while he was talking? So again in this sentence there were two actions were going on, listening and talking. So in these type of sentences also we use past continuous tense. Now some past habits. The past continuous with words such as always or constantly expresses that some past habits are happening. मतलब past continuous हम जब इन words के साथ आता है always या constantly, it means that past habits are happening again and again. For example, she was always coming to class late. वो हमेशा क्लास में लेट आया करती थी. पहले की बात है, वो हमेशा क्लास में लेट आया करती थी. She was constantly singing. तो वो हमेशा constantly गाती रहती थी. So now let's see what are future continuous tenses. We use future continuous tense to talk about actions which will be in progress at the time in future. तो वो फ्यूचर कंटिन्यूअस टेंसेस वो एक्शंस के बारे में हमें बताता है जो कि फ्यूचर में चलेंगे. एट सम पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम इन फ्यूचर दे विल गो ऑन. दे आर फॉर्म्ड बाय सब्जेक्ट प्लस विल प्लस बी प्लस वर्ब्स फॉर्म ing. Okay, present participle. Future continuous tenses, positive sentence, subject plus will plus be plus verb ing. Negative sentence, subject plus will plus be plus not plus verb ing. Question, will plus subject plus be plus verb ing. Now let's see what some sentence examples. Positive sentences, I will be singing in the concert tomorrow. मैं गाने वाला हूँ concert में. I will not be singing in the concert tomorrow. Question is, will you be singing in the concert tomorrow? So Now, let's see what are the uses of future continuous tenses. First is overlapping action. Again, overlapping means कोई एक action अगर हो तो दूसरा कोई बीच में interrupt कर दे, छोटा action, that is overlapping action. Use future continuous to indicate a longer action which will be interrupted by a shorter action in future. जैसे कि I will be watching TV when she arrives tonight. तो जब मैं टीवी देख रही होंगी जब वो आएगी रात में. सो दिस इज समथिंग कि एक फ्यूचर में होने वाला जो एक्शन है वो एक छोटे मतलब जो अभी करंटली हो रहा है वो इंटरप्ट हो रहा है पहले. आई विल बी वेटिंग फॉर यू व्हेन योर बस अराइव्स. Next is specific time as an interruption in future. So like in past continuous tense, in future continuous tense also, if a specific time is mentioned, the longer action is interrupted by a specific time in the future. Example, tonight at 6 p.m. I will be going to eat dinner. So this is something which will going to happen in the future. The next is पैरेलल एक्शंस इन फ्यूचर. मतलब कि जब दो एक्शंस या तीन एक्शंस साथ में हो रहे हो एक ही सेंटेंस में, when you use future continuous with two actions in the same sentence, it tells that both the actions are happening at the same time. कि दोनों actions एक time पे हो रहे हैं. Example, tonight they will be eating dinner, discussing their plan and having a good time. So in this sentence, two actions are going at the same time. Eating dinner, they are discussing their plan. So everything is going at the same time. So in this sentence, in these type of sentences, we always use future continuous tense. So let's revise them in a nutshell. In present continuous tense, we always use am, are, is plus verbs form ing. Past continuous tense, we use was, were plus verbs form ing. In future continuous tense, we use will be or shall be plus verb ing. So that's all for today. In our next session, I'll come up with perfect tenses, which is also very important. So that's all for today. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Kids, again, we will meet tomorrow with a session on current affairs, and that will be dealing with important economic developments. See you tomorrow. And also, CLAT Mock 5 is live on your LMS. You can go and attempt that particular mock. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.